What's up everyone, V here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Spider-Man retro carded series, Spider-Man Miles Morales. This is Miles as he appears in, I believe, the newer comic run for like the 10th year anniversary of Miles. I am not a comic guy. I'll just be blatantly honest with you. I know nothing about comics. I've read like a couple throughout my life. And yeah, I'm mostly into the shows, the movies, the games. I never really dive in the comics because there's just so much and I don't know where to start, you know. I'm more of a visual media type of guy. I guess, I guess comic books are visual media. Well, let me I phrased that bad. Let me rephrase that. I'm more of like a watch, not read guy, which is ironic because I work at a bookstore. But yeah, that's why I've just never really dived into comics. I just prefer to watch shows, movies, and all that. That's just my preferred media. But I do actually have a comic of this suit right here. Haven't read it yet because I literally just explained that I'm lazy and I also am not the largest fan of reading. Again, I prefer to watch stuff. But yeah, I do have a comic that I got that shows this suit, and I believe again it's for the 10th anniversary of Miles being created and entered into the comic universe. Is that the sentence I'm trying to spurt? Man, it's an odd day for me. I'm a little off my game. I mean, when am I on my game, let's be honest. But yeah, and this is a very cool and unique Miles suit, and I really liked it. And whenever they announced that this was a figure, I actually wanted to get it. Mostly because I have a comic of it, and I was like, that'd be cool to have a figure to go with it, because I actually really like that Miles design. It's like, pulling it up again. It's really cool, unique. It's got like a really baggy hoodie type look, and I love that look for Spidey characters, because if I could be Spider-Man, I'd definitely rock a hoodie. So yeah, and this is a figure of that comic appearance, and it's an interesting figure, I'll just say that. But before we get into it, we'll talk about the package. Also, I have talked about Miles as a character if you want to check out this. But yeah, I really like Miles. That review, the SH Figure Art Spider-Man Miles Morales. I don't know why. Again, I'm off my game. But yeah, I really like Miles as a character. He's really cool, and I think done right, he can be a really nice, strong, on his own hero, but also really works well with Peter, like the games. He works really well with Peter in the games, but also he's his really cool own character in the movies. We need more Miles is what I'm saying. I'd love a live action Miles, preferably MCU, because I don't trust Sony too much with it after, Morbius. But yeah, that aside, here is the packaging. Again, it's on the more retro card. I think that's what this line's called. This is the more comic-based packaging as opposed to the ones that are from the show, that are based off the toy line. I don't know if all of them appeared in the show, but they're based off the toy line. But this is the comic version, so you have the nice comic shot. The reason why I keep bringing this up is because I kind of prefer this picture way more than that picture. I think that's just a better shot of the suit, but yeah, looks good. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Marvel Legends. Got this weird explosion in the back. You got this really cool blue web, which I really like, and Spider-Man, because it's Spider-Man. And on the back, you have a glam shot of the figure and a little bio. Bitten by a radioactive spider, Miles Morales discovers allies and enemies across the multiverse as Spider-Man. Is that a multiverse story? I don't know. I skimmed through the comic and saw Taskmaster, so now I'm actually kind of interested. Notice how his thigh isn't perfectly aligned in that 3D render. That's interesting. But yeah, that's it for the packaging. It's packaging. What else is there really to talk about? And here is Miles himself. And standing still, I love the look of this guy. I love the baggy hoodie look. It's so cool, but he does have a lot of hindrances. I'll just say that. And because my camera and lighting aren't the best. It struggles to pick up black and red characters, and he's both. So it should be fun trying to look at him. But before we get into that, his accessories, he has he comes with 2 thwipping hands and 2 fists. I got a thwip and a fist on him now, but here's the alternates, and if they were to focus, we could actually look at them. Yeah, it's just plain hands, but they're painted really nicely because he has that red stripe going down. Looks really good. But like I've said, I think in every Spidey video, I like to have like this fist and this thwip on, and that's all the hands that'll ever be on any of my Spidey figures. So again, I'm alright. As long as they give me a left thwip and a right fist, yeah, I'm not the best. I had to put it in my perspective because I definitely struggle. I struggle with left and rights. I'll just say that. But yeah, if they give me those, then I'm fine. But I understand why people hate the fact that we don't get like 2 of each, wall crawling hands, all that. I definitely agree with them that that's super lazy and annoying. But for me, I really don't care. But I understand that issue. But yeah, and that's all his accessories. He doesn't come with much, but you know, I don't know what else he'd come with besides wall crawling hands and all that, which again, they should really add to every Spidey, but doesn't bother me too much. And here's the actual figure itself, and it's kind of cool. I like it, but if you're wanting to put him in very dynamic Spidey poses, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. He is hindered like crazy. But before we get into the articulation, because that's where most of the problems with this figure are, we'll take a look at his details, you know what I mean? And there's not a whole lot to go over, because, I mean, Spider-Man's just a guy in spandex, so it's just a muscle body, but he does have the hoodie, which makes it really unique. And speaking of unique, let's take a look at this mask, because it is weird, and I don't fully understand how it works. Because it has the top, which is a spandex mask, and then this, which cuts around and connects to the hoodie. So is it... Because some of the comic art makes it look like this is one piece. But then how would it be so tight up here but then loose down here? I don't know. I'm assuming this is a separate piece from the mask, and he just pulls it over and ties it in the back. You can see a little knot tied back there, which is sculpted really well. I could be completely wrong, because again, I don't read the comics, and I don't know if they explain how the suit works in the comics, but I really like it. I love the bright, striking red eyes. Man, black and red just go so well together. It just looks so good. And the red is actually painted really well. Sometimes characters that are like a black base with red painted over, they go very light with the red, and it looks bad. But this, they actually, you can tell they put multiple layers on, and it just looks really good. Come down to a Spidey logo. That looks really cool. I love the odd, unique shape of this logo, how it's kind of like a triangle. That looks really cool. And he's just, the whole like jacket on the torso is just a rubber overlay, and it goes all the way up to the neck, which is cool, but it does definitely adds to the problems. Got little laces here. Wait, how's that work? What? Wait. Maybe I'm tripping, but like, wait, how do these lace things work? How do you tighten the hoodie? Does it tighten the bottom? I don't know. Anyway, got the red stripe, which goes all the way down from the head to the base of the hands, not bottom. I kept wanting to say bottom, and it looks really good. It gets a little not as bright on the on this bicep, but for the most part, it's painted really well, and it's painted really well on this side. And it's hoodie, it's wrinkle sculpt, looks really good. On the back, you got another different Spidey logo, bigger, not a triangle, but still looks really cool. I just love this suit design so much. And then come down to the legs. It's got some red in there, but you got this really cool, like, webbed pattern, which is just not focusing. There we go. Which goes all the way down this side of the outward of the leg, and it looks really cool. Like, man, I just love this suit. And I'm so hyped that it's going to be in the new Spider-Man 2 game, because I think it was, like, in a shot of, like, the trailer they did for all the suits. Yeah, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. Man, I'm just hyped for that game in general. I'm about to be going crazy playing that. Just forgetting the vague social life I have. And then come down to his weird shoes. I don't know, they're really blocky, and for some reason curve up in the front like he's an elf, which I guess it can kind of be, yeah, like it can make it so that he tumbles forward a lot, but rather than that, looks pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's a Spider-Man design. They're never complex. It's just a guy in spandex. But yeah, I really do like the design of this guy. But they were never going to be able to execute this perfectly into figure form. Because let's get to the articulation, which is the biggest problem with this figure. You got a dumbbell joint at the head, which is already a no-no. Spidey should have a ball hinge, because that can actually look up. I've barely seen a dumbbell joint that can look up well. But he has a dumbbell joint, and he can look up that far and look down that far. Bob side to side and rotate. And yeah, the rubbery neck kind of gets in the way. Arms rotate around, hinge out. Single jointed elbow with rotation, and then rotation in a hinge on the hand. And I believe there's a diaphragm joint up here, but like it's just a swivel. Like you're not getting any forward or any back with that because of this whole rubbery piece. Then the legs kick only that far forward and that far back, but they can do the splits decently, which is nice. Thigh rotation, very nice double jointed knee, swivel at the boot, up and down at the foot, and a rocker. So yeah, upper body is really limited. So if you wanted to get him in like a very dynamic Spidey pose with like his legs kicking, it's not gonna happen. Like, I'm not the best poser. I mean, if you're a really good poser, you might be able to find something to put it, but like it's not the most dynamic Spidey figure. But if you have him on your shelf just standing there, maybe like throwing a punch or thwipping like this or something, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, his articulation definitely is very hindered, especially compared to some of the newer Spider-Men we've been getting, like the Renew Val's body. Like, that's phenomenal. But yeah, but you know what? I still like him because I just like this design a lot. Comparison time. Here he is next to Moon Knight, because we have to, because the channel's named after him. And for average Black Series and Transformers Voyager class scale, here he is next to Siege Shockwave. And new guy, Black Series Arc Trooper 5s, which I will be reviewing soon. I decided to take a little bit of a break from the Black Series figures because I was just going ham because I have bought a lot recently. And I was like, I should probably try to switch it up, because I know Marvel Legends, especially Spider-Man Marvel Legends, do really well on my channel. So, decided to break in a little Spider review in between the insanity of all the Black Series. But I will be getting back to Black Series because I got some Ahsoka figures and all that. But yeah, and for a 7-inch scale comparison, here he is next to a DC McFarlane and a Halo Jazzwares figure. Here he is next to Flash and Master Chief. And yeah, he's really small. And for a better size idea, here he is next to, yes, I do have it, the what would you even call this figure? The retro carded Spidey figure. I got it loose at the comic shop I go to, and he is in hella rough shape. But this is like the general idea. So yeah, he does have the more like teenage size body, which would go well with the Ultimate Spider-Man figure if I didn't break its arm off. R.I.P. That figure's not cheap anymore. And for some Miles comparisons, here he is next to the PlayStation Spider-Man 2 Miles, which I will be reviewing closer to when that game releases. Cat hair back there. And if you want to check it out, because I've already reviewed it, the SH Figure Arts Across the Spider-Verse Miles Morales. And this is still obviously my favorite one, because you can't beat that. That's like the most well-articulated Spider-Man figure I own. But all three are really cool in their own ways, and I love how they all have really cool and unique suits. This obviously being the most unique suit. And yeah, that's about it. A little quick review for y'all today. Do I recommend this figure? If you want a highly articulated Miles Spider-Man figure, don't buy this. If you want just a decently cheap Articulated Miles. Get this guy. This guy's really nice. But if you want like a very posable Miles figure for cheap, this is not the figure to buy. But if you do really like this design and you're all right with not being able to put it in the most dynamic of Spidey poses, then I recommend it, because as it is, it's kind of cool. I do like it and I love the design, and I'm happy I did buy it. And it'll have a place in my collection, in my little Miles verse I got building up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. I've done a lot of Spider-Man, and there's more Spider-Man to come. I will eventually get into more Transformers. The videos just take a long time to record because of all the transformations. Hey, thought you'd get through a whole video without hearing the train. I was wrong. But yeah, and check out all those Star Wars reviews if you're into that too. And also check out my Instagram, MoonNetXO. You can talk to me there, get a little sneak peek updates on figures that will probably get reviews, and you can just see my art and stuff that I post there. So that's about it. Hope you have a wonderful day. Happy 10th to our boy Miles Morales. Hoping for an even greater 10 years forward. And maybe in about 100 years he'll have a horrific comic run like Peter Parker has right now. I don't read comics, but I've heard things, and it ain't good. But yeah, that's about it. Peace!